I've been at Camp Griffiths for a week now, but that was about to change. I was given new orders to make my way to the medical facility at Hardwick Air Base in Norfolk. I loaded my belongings into the Jeep that morning and started making my way to Norfolk. I was to report for duty at 0700 tomorrow morning. I was getting close to Norfolk when out of nowhere this Jeep comes flying up beside me with this crazy woman at the wheel. She glanced over at me. I nervously glanced back. Then I heard her yell.
"Let's see what that Jeep of yours will do, dollface. Try and keep up."
Before I realized what was going on, her Jeep went screaming off ahead of mine. Without thinking, I downshifted and smashed the accelerator pedal to the floor. Foolishly, I went barreling down the trail after her. I felt compelled to catch her for some reason. I kept the accelerator pedal pressed hard to the tow board, but I could not catch up to her. She slowed down as we come upon a water crossing. At that point, I was able to catch up to her. I don't know what compelled me to keep following her. Maybe it was because she was another adventurous American female in England, like myself. Or maybe it was because of my own yearning for adventure. Maybe it was both. For whatever reason, it was driving me to keep following her. She led me up and over a small hill, and down the other side into a ravine. That's where we stopped.
"The name's Nancy. What's yours, dollface?"
She asked. "My name's Deborah. Deborah Bell."
"Nah, I like dollface better. You handle that Jeep pretty well. You a farm girl?"
"Yes, it must be pretty obvious. I'm from Elkhart, Indiana."
"I should have known you for a Hoosier. The way you drive. I'm a mechanic at the airfield. We get back to base, I need to tune that Jeep of yours up. In the meantime, let's go have some fun before nightfall. You up for it, dollface?"
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4!
We fired up our Jeeps and headed up the other side of the rocky ravine we had been parked in. Our Jeeps struggled for traction on the loose, rocky surface, but somehow always managed to find enough to keep us moving. They seemed unstoppable. Drove for what seemed like hours, giving little thought to what would happen if we were to be caught. In a way, I guess we didn't care. I was too engrossed in the astonishing capabilities of these wonderful machines we were driving. How could such a simple machine be so much fun? This was the most fun I have had since leaving home. I felt so alive. We drove on, watching the countryside grow increasingly more beautiful as we went. It was relieving to see that there were still places that had not been ravaged by the scorn of war. Nancy would lead us across a meadow and down a path to a small pond. There we would watch the sunset. She was a woman of few words. She didn't need to say anything for me to know what she was thinking, though. The glossy look in her eyes and that Brooklyn smirk told all. We were both overjoyed by this rambunctious adventure we were just on. As I gazed at the reflection of the sunset across the still waters, I let my mind drift. I wondered what this war held in store for all of us, and what the world would be like afterwards. I wondered if I would have more adventures like the one we had just been on, and prayed that I would be able to. I had no idea at that moment how this amazing little vehicle I was in was going to change my life forever. All I knew was that it had already changed how I seen the world.